Welcome back to another Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a 2-round NFL mock draft. Mock draft, V2 round 2. We doing a 2-round NFL mock draft. This is my second version of an NFL mock draft. My first one is the best video that I've recorded in the past couple months. Y'all, this is going to be a long one because with the first pick, psych, I lied. This is how I do it. I go backwards. I'm a small channel, and this is something that I actually have a lot of fun with. And this is my big board. Y'all gotta remember, a lot of these outlets y'all are listening to, they don't put their real big boards out there. These guys work for certain teams. These guys have certain agendas that they are pushing. I am somebody who sits home, go to work, go to school, mind my business, watch sports, and I go on about my day. And I just want to rank these players, draft them. I am also a huge NFL fan. I watch most of the NFL games live as much as I could. And as the season goes on and the playoffs is over, I go back and watch the college teams. And from what I've seen in certain games and certain teams and certain habits, I just want to do a mock draft based off of it. And besides all that yapping, with pick 64 in the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles will be selecting tackle out of Texas, Cameron Williams. This is what the Eagles do. A huge tackle like this, whose biggest problems at his first year starting at Texas was penalties. You just extended Lane Johnson. He getting older. A guy with this type of frame, this type of build, falling this low, team that just won a Super Bowl, this is what the Eagles do. This is how they always competitive. They always make sure to find gems in the trenches, and this is a guy that they could draft and develop. And as the years go on, oh man, Cameron Williams could be a nasty replacement for Lane Johnson. Pick 63, the Kansas City Chiefs will be selecting tackle out of West Virginia, Wyatt Millam. Wyatt is going to be a left tackle for the Chiefs because they just got David Moore, which is David Moore. Chiefs could just use some tackle play, man. The Chiefs need help in the trenches. And pick 63, they take a guy who, in a lot of people's eyes at this point of the draft, probably fell. So pick 63, Chiefs will be taking Wyatt Millam. Pick 62, the Buffalo Bills will be taking Tej Johnson, wide receiver out of Oregon. Tej Johnson is a guy who in the slot is going to come in and make this Bills wide receiver room even deeper. And it's not only that, he's also going to be a kick and return specialist, man, for this team. Tej Johnson, holy, last year, he only had one game. I think last year in Oregon, Tej Johnson only had 2 games where I watched that he wasn't super productive in. And one of the games where he wasn't super productive in, he returned a kick for a touchdown. So really, he was still productive in that game. Like, Tej Johnson is like Deshaun Jackson to me. Like, this guy is nasty. Tej Johnson is somebody who you give Josh Allen, Deshaun Jackson, oof, 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 oof. I know the Bills not that much needy of a team at the wide receiver position because of how many weapons they got and how balanced of a team they are now. But hey, Tej Johnson stretch out the defense even more and be a return specialist for you would be something I find amazing for the Buffalo Bills. Pick 61. The Washington Commanders will be selecting edge rusher out of Central Arkansas, David Walker. David Walker is a stand-up pass rush specialist, and he's just going to be there to rush the passer. I don't think the Commanders got a good edge room. I really think the Commanders' edge room is so scary that they should just sign like a edge rusher. But David Walker, for now, if that's not something that it seems like they haven't done yet in free agency, David Walker would be a cool signing for them because they need edge rush badly. Pick 60. The Detroit Lions will be taking linebacker out of Ohio State, Cody Simon. This guy is like, he doesn't miss too many tackles, super heady, knows where to be, I like Cody Simon. He's a good tackler and a just good run defender. He also seems like a great leader. Just watching him, and yeah. I like Ohio State's run defense, and he was a big part of that at the linebacker position. Um, the Ravens at pick 59, they'll be taking Tate out of Georgia, or I should restate that. With pick 59 of the NFL draft, the Baltimore Ravens will be selecting Tate Ratledge out of Georgia, guard, by the way. Just they need a right guard pretty badly, and he played pretty well at guard for Georgia, best guard in the class to me, and he fits the exact guard position they need. So it's like, yeah, it's almost a reach on him, but he wouldn't be available with their next pick, and he also is the exact position they need, the best player at that position, and they don't have a lot of needs, So like it's cool. It's not like a huge desired need, but it's one of their biggest needs. And like I said, he wouldn't be available if they were to go around next time. And he's just plug and play, gonna block for Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Um, Pick 58 of the NFL draft, the Houston Texans will be selecting Jabbar Muhammad, cornerback out of Oregon. Oregon defense in the playoffs wasn't all that well and kind of disappointing. But throughout the season, Jabbar Muhammad was pretty sticky in coverage, and he's cool to me. He's an outside corner. He doesn't really play in the slot that much, not yet at least. But if you could put Jabbar Muhammad on the outside and then Derek Stingley on the other side, and you just have all those nickel backs and safeties that the Texans have, such as Jalen Petrie, uh, CJ Gardner, Kamari Lassiter, all of those guys are like safeties. So if you have two boundary corners with like four safeties, you could just ruin defenses. They don't know where they at, don't know what they doing. And Jabbar Muhammad, Derek Stingley, y'all just guard the boundaries. Um, with pick 57 of the NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers will be selecting wide receiver out of Stanford, Alec Ayaman. Yeah, Alec. Alec is a good route runner. Alec gets open. He's just like a professional route runner. He's a professional route runner. He gets open and moves on. Like it's not nothing special. It's not nothing too flashy, but he gets open on deep routes. The thing is, the name of the game at the wide receiver position for me is separation, and he creates separation. So with pick 57, Bryce Young gonna get him a piece on the offensive side that could create separation and get him some more comfortable plays. He also is a all around receiver. He doesn't only play slot. He doesn't only play out wide. He's a balanced receiver. Like I said, he's just a professional route runner, and he's a pro football player. And then the Panthers could use a couple of those. Pick 56, the Buffalo Bills. This is the first team that have had two selections so far. So with pick 56, they will be selecting edge rusher out of Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart is built just like an NFL player. Like you have to take him. He's like 6'6". He's a monster. And the Bills' run defense was a big problem to me for that team. Shamar Stewart, I feel like he wasn't all that productive in college, which kind of like, to me, I don't know how people feel about this. When somebody is that freakish of an athlete at 6'6" at college and can't beat college players, what makes me think they could go to the NFL and do it? But at the same time, that's why I have him going later than other people. I have him still going day 2, pick 56, honestly. Millionaire right there, but I just don't think he's a first round talent. But he could develop to being that because of, like I said, he is a monster, bro. And run defense, he is good at that already. So you got Gregory Rousseau, who's also good at run defense. You got that edge rush duo for like first downs, and then you go ahead and put Bosa in at the later downs to keep him healthy, and he could just rush the passer while Shamar, work on his pass rush moves, on the sideline because he needs to. But run defense, size, and all that, he will come there and impact the Buffalo Bills. With pick 55, the Los Angeles Chargers will be selecting edge rusher out of Arkansas, Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson, another one of those guys next to Khalil Mack. he is just so big. All he has to do is put his hands up and ruin the quarterback's blindside. Literally all he has to do is put his hands up. He even had a couple of batted passes in college football. Three last season. He gets to the quarterback pretty well. I believe he's even bigger uh than Shamar Stewart. Landon Jackson's like 6'8", man. Like Landon Jackson is like almost Calais Campbell to me, but at the edge rush position. Like he is that tall, his arms are that long. Like Landon Jackson isn't as, or I don't know if he's as good, but holy, Landon Jackson is a problem, man. He is so big, and if he could just another one of those guys next to Khalil Mack, just learn how to, do a couple pass rush moves, he'll be so far. Like he'll be so all right. And the Chargers, I think they are another team. It's not like this just for the past couple of years. It's for like the past decade. They never have a good run defense. Like they would never come with a good run defense. That's just how it would always be. I don't get why, but it's because they don't invest into it. So this draft for me, the Chargers they need to invest in their D line. Um, it's not something that they've been doing that much, but I think Bosa leaving this year that shows that type of direction they're going. Tula is also good, but a rotation is always better. A rotation is always better. Um, Pick 54 in the NFL draft, the Green Bay Packers will be selecting Trey Amos out of, or with pick 54, the Green Bay Packers will be selecting cornerback out of Mississippi, Trey Amos. Trey Amos is so nice, man. He's just not Trey Amos is a defensive back in the league. He also played with a nasty front seven, but he was the CB1 with that nasty front seven, being sticky in coverage. He had a couple interceptions last year. I was watching the LSU game yesterday, and where he picked off Garrett Nussmeier to entirely change the flow of the game. Although Mississippi was up, they were up by like less than a touchdown. And while LSU walking down the field, guess who came in and got Ole Miss the ball back to allow a Jackson Dart in the offense to go back and do what they got to do. But also, like, Ole Miss was a nasty team, man. Ole Miss was a nasty team, and with pick 53 in the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be selecting linebacker out of Ole Miss, Chris Paul Jr. Oh man, Ole Miss, dude. This was a nasty team, and I don't get how they didn't make the playoffs, but I also do get it. We'll talk about that later. When we talk about the reason they didn't. But Chris Paul, another one of those linebackers who just he has a way of finding the ball. That is the most important trait to me. Can you find the ball? Chris Paul could find the ball. Cody Simon could find the ball. A linebacker has to be a ball hawk, and those guys, they find the ball. When I watch them play, they're always near the ball, making the tackle. Just they're always near the ball. That is the position of the linebacker, of course. But some people aren't gonna get drafted because they don't play their position the way it's supposed to. And Chris Paul is one of those guys who he's just a modern linebacker, literally freak athlete, and is a great tackler. Pick 52. The Seattle Seahawks will be selecting tackle out of Oregon, Josh Connerly Jr., another junior back to back. But with this junior, I think the Seahawks are like gonna put him at guard, or that's what I would do. I would put him at guard, let things ride out, and just because Connerly, he doesn't have the strength to play the edge position, but at the same time, at guard is kind of weird, but the Seahawks need trench play pretty badly, and Josh Carnelli isn't somebody who you're gonna force to start day one, and he's the best offensive lineman available. If it wasn't for the Senior Bowl, he probably would have been a day one pick, But Mike Green went there and scared the world from Josh Carnelli, and him playing guard in the NFL level, at least to start his career, probably wouldn't be the worst thing. With pick 51 of the NFL draft, the Denver Broncos will be selecting tight end out of Michigan, Colston Loveland. Yes, Broncos fans, I know y'all just got Evan Ingram. Why would we also get Colston Loveland? Well, I first of all, I'll keep it a band with you. maybe in the next time I do a mock draft, Broncos fans, I will listen to that advice. Actually, Broncos fans, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, nah, I would have just took Ted Johnson right here. I'm gonna just be completely honest with y'all. I took Ted Johnson with pick 62. I could have took him with pick 51. I'm that high on Ted Johnson, Broncos fans. Y'all heard me and what I had to say about him already. If you're here this long, and I'm sorry that I'm just realizing this, but I can admit when I'm wrong. That's one thing about me. I know when I'm wrong. And Tez Johnson on the Broncos would be so nasty, bro. Him and Bo Nix. And I think Tez Johnson has a debate for being ranked a higher receiver than I put him. Like some of these receivers I drafted above Tez, it's only because they play outside a little more than him. If he could go to the league and add that onto him, like Deshaun Jackson, that would be a literal replica of Deshaun Jackson, and that's Bo Nix's brother. Like nah, nah. Pick 51, Broncos fans, get ready to scream Tez Johnson. All right. Yeah, I did take Colston Loveland here, and I'm gonna keep it there like that just for the flow of the draft. But next time, Broncos fans, I'm pretty sure y'all just gonna get Ted Johnson here for the rest of the foreseeable future for me. I'm gonna see what y'all do with round one. But yeah, Ted Johnson. But in this mock, we're just gonna say Colston Loveland. Yeah, with pick 50 in the NFL mock draft, the Seattle Seahawks will be selecting edge rusher out of South Carolina, Kyle Kennard. Kyle Kennard, man, in that Alabama game was biting on the quarterbacks, man. All season, Kyle Kennard has been nice. The whole edge rush trio on South Carolina has been playing amazing. And Kyle Kennard is somebody who could come in into the Seahawks and allow Leonard Williams to play a little more the interior. And him and DeMarcus Lawrence can share that load. While Kyle Kennard goes in and rushes the passer a little more. That's something that the Seahawks have been missing out a lot on. Just trench play. And this year, it seems like that's something they attacking. And especially in this draft where I just had them take Josh Cornelli to play guard. Like, that's what teams that want to win do. They move these tackles who have question marks about their strength to guard and yo, that trench game nasty, Pick 49 of the NFL draft. I got the Cincinnati Bengals taking edge rusher out of Texas A&M, Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton is just like Shamar Stewart, man. Freak athlete who doesn't produce at the college level. And when you don't produce at the college level, I have my rights to be scared about you. You're not producing at the college level while you're that freak of an athlete, bro. But at the same time, you're that freak of an athlete. The Bengals need run defense. And let me tell you, Nick Scorton can play run defense. Just at the get into the quarterback thing, he got to get better at that. But the Bengals are going to give him time to do that. But at the same time, not too much time, because this is a team that if he could be a 8-sack player, this is a team that could win a Super Bowl. Nick Scorton, if you could go out there and play run defense the way you do and get 8 sacks, you can make the Bengals into a Super Bowl contender just like that. But that's the question about him. His pass rush moves. Can he find the quarterback? Can he find the ball in the pass rush? He could find it on run defense, but it's about getting to the pass rusher. And with pick 48 in the NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins will be selecting the interior out of Oregon, Derek Hammond. This is a guy who he's going to be a positive on the interior for the Dolphins because they lost Christian Wilkins a couple of years or last year, and they haven't really recovered from that. And the Dolphins was a team that was hurt last year. So, man, they're not where they want to be right now. And getting a pass rusher who could come in and impact your play would be amazing. Last year, Calais Campbell didn't even want to play there because, he realized that they weren't going to make the playoffs. And like, they were still like reluctant to keep him because this is a team that wants to win now, and they know how bad they need an interior defensive player. So Derek Harmon, if he's available in the second round for this team, especially, that's someone that they got to nag at because the edge rush production that they have in Miami, it's enough to win. It's just the trench play just isn't enough because of the defensive interior, the front seven as a whole, and the offensive trenches. The Miami Dolphins need to fix up the trenches, and Derek Harmon is one step closer to that. Pick 47, the Arizona Cardinals will be selecting defensive interior out of Texas, Alfred Collins. Oh man, this is a guy who he's a dog, man. Run defense, and he could get to the pass rush a little bit also. So if the Arizona Cardinals could grab someone like that, because they last year their offense was pretty dynamic. But Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, I understand they'd have their games sometimes where they wouldn't be all that. But if this defense could have some more talent on the trench side of the ball, that would be amazing. Just both sides of the ball. Just like a lot of the draft is where you find your trench players, like your edge rushers, your interior. This is where you find a lot of your trench players and your quarterbacks. After that, most players are going to fit your schemes. It's just about finding the right trench players to fit your schemes. And Alfred Collins is one of those guys who, at the defensive tackle position, he could pass rush and run defend. So he could always play. In the Cardinals, like I said, they don't have that much talent there. And holy, I personally think he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. But of course, I think that because he's going round two. Pick 46 of the NFL draft. The Atlanta Falcons will be selecting Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame. Oh man, AJ Terrell and Benjamin Morrison as a duo would be nasty. Benjamin could play zone, he could play man, and AJ Terrell is one of the best corners in the league, and we know that. And Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the league. So like this, like defensive back room would get even better. And Benjamin Morrison, his biggest question for me is health. Benjamin Morrison on the field, he looks amazing. On the field, he's a first round talent. Off the field is the problem. He's always off the field, and he's only in college. But if he could have an NFL career where he stays healthy, this Falcons duo would be nasty. With pick 45 in the NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts will be selecting edge rusher out of Ohio State, JT Tumalano. Well, yeah, JT. JT is pretty good at getting into the pass rusher. He's an edge rusher that just keeps edging. You know, he keeps edging to the quarterback, and he consistently does his job. Like, I like JT, and I think that he's going to be one of those professional edge rushers. He's a guy who I would be shocked if he's not a professional football player. He is a professional football player. I don't know what the ceiling is on him, but he's a pop pass rusher. Like, if you have a number one next to him, you'll be all right. I don't think your pass rush will be lacking too much. But is he the number one? I don't know. But no matter what, he's a two, I think. And that's something that the Indianapolis Colts could use. And that would benefit them, man. Pick 44 in the NFL draft. The Dallas Cowboys will be selecting edge rusher out of Boston College, Donovan Ezek. Yeah, Donovan. Donovan reminds me of DeMarcus Lawrence, literally. They are built the same. They have the same positives. They have the same negatives. Cowboys fans, I have y'all taking DeMarcus Lawrence right here. And it's not even like out of need or necessity. It's how my board fell. On PFF's consensus board where I did the mock draft out of, he's ranked 16th. I took him pick 44, and he is a DeMarcus Lawrence clone. So y'all do with that information as y'all would like to, but I do think he is so strong. And at the Senior Bowl, he was embarrassing some of those offensive linemen out there, dude. He was one of those. He was like the second biggest riser at the Senior Bowl to me. Number one was Mike Green because I never even watched him play, but like, holy, Donovan was out there snapping too, and then went back and watched a couple games at Boston College. Donovan is a guy who always puts pressure on the quarterback. Pick 43 for the San Francisco 49ers. I have him taking defensive interior out of Toledo, Darius Alexander. Darius Alexander is holy, he's a problem, bro. He's so explosive. He just is a dynamite in the in the interior, bro. Like, nah. He tough. Did I almost felt like at his size, I was watching a basketball player, bro. Like Darius Alexander, he might be somebody who if y'all are listening to me and like respect what I'm saying about these players so far in round two and enjoy the content I'm providing, watch Darius Alexander. That's gonna be my watch for this this video. I if you have time to watch Darius Alexander, go and do it, man. This is at pick 43 feels like a steal. At pick 43 feels like a steal because Darius Alexander is a dog, and the way that he was causing havoc up in the middle was kind of scary. It was scary. Pick 42. I have the New York Football Jets. I don't know why I call them the Football Jets. Like, that's not the only thing we do in New York Football Giants, but I have the New York Shitter Jets taking Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia. If you were to put up his like past 3 years of play, he would be like one of the top players. But last year was not a good year for Malachi Starks, man. Like his stock is down. He's ranked like a top 10 player, but me personally, I wouldn't take him in the top 10. No, like Malachi Starks is somebody who to me has fell, and pick 42 for the Jets to have a safety, especially when their secondary has kind of been up for question recently, man. You have DJ Reed moving on, Sauce Gardner not looking as dominant as he was his first year. Like, I don't know, man. You get Malachi Starks, and maybe some of those pieces that have been falling apart will get, glued back together with a do-it-all safety like him. I wouldn't be shocked at all. And this is a guy like this is not them just drafting off a need. Like I said, he fell. A lot of people are probably higher on Malachi Starks than me. So at pick 42 for the New York Jets would be amazing. Pick 41. I have the Chicago Bears taking Trayvon Henderson. Am I this high on the running back out of Ohio State? No, I'm not. I am high on him though. But if they have pick 41 and take Trayvon Henderson, oh man, that would be a nasty thing because with pick 40, the New Orleans Saints will be selecting man lockdown corner out of Iowa State, who honestly, man, Darren Porter, as we do my third one of this, where I'm going to be doing a 3-round mock draft. If y'all are enjoying what I got to say right now so far and what I'm talking about these players, I'm telling y'all, I've been kind of watching a little bit too much college football. I just been fixing up my school, going to work and watching college football, man, playing the game. I'm watching too much college football, honestly. And that Ohio State running back room was so nasty. And Darren Porter, I don't know why I just talked about Trayvon Henderson while I'm talking about Darren Porter, but he allowed like a 4.0 passer rating, and he's sticky, he's fast. Darren Porter might be a guy who I get higher on because I just got hip on him, and he's already like almost my favorite cornerback prospect, almost. But at the same time, now this cornerback class is crazy. The thing is, as I'm going and learning about this draft, everyone is talented. Like everyone's talented. Literally, everyone is talented. That's the league, and that's a good thing though. That's a good thing that the league ain't talented like this, because with pick 39, I had the Chicago Bears taking running back out of Ohio State, Quinton Judkins. Yeah, y'all see what I did there, Bears fans? Y'all, hey, Bears fans, check me out. Y'all got Ben Johnson this year, right? Who was the Lions head coach. And y'all had Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, Lions fans. Imagine how would y'all feel if the best running back duo in Ohio State last year with Quinton Judkins and Trayvon Henderson, the Lightning and Thunder. If Ben Johnson could coach the Lightning and Thunder in NFL and then grab the Lightning and Thunder in college and bring them on the Bears, that would be so hilarious. I understand that they are passing up on better running back options. They are. But it's just the fact that they could get both of the Ohio State backs just back to back and just be this crazy offense with all those weapons. And Lord knows what they do in the first round. They get both of the running backs. They got their quarterback. They got their wide receiver room. The Bears, the way that they revamp that offensive line, and you have these two Ohio State backs just come and run over people. Do y'all remember how that defense was playing to begin the season? The reason that they started giving up on defense was after what happened against Jaden Daniels in the Hail Mary. And then they had like two Bears fans. Y'all had like two of the worst back-to-back weeks in sports history after the Jalen Daniels Hail Mary. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that was horrible. If y'all won one of those games, y'all could have made the playoffs. And then if y'all were to like add Judkins, add Henderson, add something in the first round, Caleb Williams year two, add an amazing head coach. Whoa, you know, like this Bears team is a team that holy, they are the team that's the scariest in the draft to me. They are the team with the most to earn in the draft to me because Caleb Williams is not bad. Caleb Williams is good, and people, holy, the Bears got a chance if they do something in this draft. Um, Pick 38, the New England Patriots will be selecting wide receiver out of Texas, Matthew Golden. Oh, Lee, Matthew Golden just ran like a 4.2, y'all. Like, I have him going pick 38, but he just ran like a 4.2. He might be the first wide receiver taken off the board now. Y'all know how it go. Y'all know how it go. So, like, a wide receiver that I think is already like a top 30 player in the draft. Like he's good. Now don't get me wrong, he's good. And while I was watching Texas, Quinn would always consistently just find him open. Like Golden would always just have the ball. Like Golden gets open a lot. I know his stats. Did like watching the games, I feel like he get the ball more than like his stats showed me. Like Golden is always like there when you need him. I guess. I guess Matthew Golden is the guy that's there when you need him. Is that what it is? Because yeah, his stats was like 700 yards on the season, something like that. I felt, but it felt. Oh, he had 9. He almost was a 1,000-yard receiver. No, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And it felt like he had more. You know, he was a 1,000-yard receiver, and it felt like he had more. And he plays out wide a lot. So like he's winning on outside routes as little as he is, as fast as he is. Teams are going to overdraft him. But like at the same time, it's because they all know he's gonna be good. Like he is such a safe player, but at the same time, is he safe if you take him at pick 10? You know, like he's as safe as you want him to be. And at pick 38, I feel pretty comfortable taking Matthew Golden. Pick 37, the Las Vegas Raiders. They will be selecting halfback out of North Carolina, Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton is a running back who reminds me of Saquon, bro. He has so much juice, bro. Like Omarion Hampton to the Raiders would break my heart because he's on to the Raiders. And like Raiders fans, y'all should be happy though. Oh my God, Brock Bowers and Omarion Hampton. Holy, that would be nasty. And then like y'all just do what y'all do at quarterback after that. You know, like I think y'all would have the Saquon Barkley of running backs, the next one, and Brock Bowers is like the Gronkowski of tight ends, dude. Like, and they have a decent O line. Geno Smith isn't bad. This is a team with snagging on Marion Hampton at pick 37. Depending on what they do in this mock draft at pick 6, this is a team that like could generationally change within a weekend in a draft, you know? Like Omarion Hampton at pick 37. Ah man, that's the thing about me though. I don't take running backs that much. And I might have to change that in my draft because I only took these are all the running backs I took now, besides Genty. And I think that there's still like 10 more running backs that I would love to draft, you know? And like round 3 when we do the last version maybe or maybe we'll do a 4-round mock. Like y'all, I'm going to try and get y'all some content out before the draft for real because holy, watching college football before the draft is so much fun. I know Marion Hampton, that's another guy who I'm not saying you have to watch him because if you're listening to this, you probably have watched Omarion already. He should be one of the first watches. Darius Alexander out of Toledo is the watch I'm giving y'all. But if you haven't watched Omarion for some reason and you want to watch something after, go watch him. Omarion's a dog. Pick 36 in the NFL draft. Jacksonville Jaguars will be selecting wide receiver out of Missouri, Luther Burden. Luther Burden is somebody who he's fallen, he's fell, and I don't know, man. I don't like Luther Burden that much. He's good. He's good, but I don't like when college players complain for the ball. Like you in college, bro, just play the game. Well, why you like changing life? You know, why can't it just be as simple as run a route or two? But at the same time, it's because how good he is with the ball in his hands, bro. Luther Burden, if he has the ball in his hands, is nasty. It's like he's a better Kadarius Tony. He's Kadarius Tony that could get open with some hands. So like, nah, Luther Burden is good. Don't get me wrong. Luther Burden is good. I feel like he just if he didn't have an attitude, he'd be in the first round. And that yeah, literally. Pick 35, the Tennessee Titans will be selecting wide receiver out of Miami, who just ran a 4.7, Xavier Retrosphere. I really just did this because Cam Ward went to the Titans and went. I think that's something that NFL teams have been doing recently, ever since it's worked with like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But teams been doing that. When you have a college quarterback and you just take his wide receiver one, round two, let him feel comfortable. Let them run the same plays year one, and just add on to your plays also. So like y'all could be the Tennessee the Tennessee Hurricanes for a year, and then let Cam Ward and Xavier, build chemistry. Like when you could have a chemistry pick like this, especially with a guy who you took with pick one, such as Cam Ward, because y'all, for other teams, I didn't give up who they took in the first round yet because it's still interesting. But nah, for the Tennessee Titans, we all know y'all taking Cam Ward, and next to him, we taking his buddy. All right, that's just what it is at the end of the day. Pick 34, the New York Football Giants, the real football team at pick 34. My New York Football Giants will be selecting Jaden Higgins, wide receiver out of Iowa State. Jaden Higgins is somebody who I'm not too hip on. I've only watched a game of him, and he's somebody who I'm just getting on to. And I already have him as a borderline first round pick already. That quick. After that shows you a lot. And we're going to see how I feel about him in my next episode of these mock drafts. But I'm watching so many of these guys play that I'm not like recording videos on it. And at some point I got to record video on it. But Jaden Higgins is somebody to watch, man. He's somebody who's risen for me. The biggest risers have been Darius Alexander, Jaden Higgins, and Mike Green. Those guys for me have risen up the board a lot, and deservingly so. Jaden Higgins can get open outside, in the slot, in the Z, and Jaden Higgins is nice. Jaden Higgins is nice. Pick 33 of the wide receiver run. We have the Cleveland Browns selecting wide receiver out of Iowa. With pick 33, we have the Cleveland Browns selecting wide receiver out of Iowa State, Emeka Egbuka. The fact that Emeka fell to pick 33 is kind of crazy. I can't lie to you. But, bro, this is a professional route runner next to Jerry Jeudy. Whatever they do at the quarterback position with Kenny Pickett, hey, Emeka and Jerry Jeudy, Deshaun Watson, whatever they got going on over there, they have two wide receivers that will be able to get open and pretty consistently too. Emeka reminds me of like a worse version of JSN. He's in that slot world where like he's just a robot in the slot and he gets open in the slot, and not every single time, but like 75% of the time he's open in the slot, And then you got Jerry Jeudy, who's a great route runner, and hey, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett. Y'all got to hit those guys open because the offensive line is pretty decent in Cleveland. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still like one of the better, like it's better than worse, It's like they're a mid-pack offensive line. You could work with that. Y'all, that is round 2 of the NFL draft, y'all. Holy, y'all been here for 40 minutes and we haven't talked about one player I have in the first round yet. Fans, we're gonna go over that real quick. Emeka pick 33, Jaden Higgins with pick 34, Retro Spear with pick 35, Luther Burden with pick 36, Omarion with pick 37, Golden with pick 38, Quinshawn with pick 39, Darian Porter with pick 40, Trayvon with 41, Malachi Starks with 42, Darius with 43, Donovan with 44, JT 45, Benjamin 46, Alfred 47, Derek 48, Nick Scorton 49, Kyle Kennard pick 50. The Broncos, I did that to y'all. Josh Corneli with pick 52. Chris Paul pick 53. Trey Amos pick 54. Landon Jackson pick 55. Shamar Stewart pick 56. Alec Manor pick 57. Jabbar pick 58. Tate pick 59. Simon pick 60. David pick 61. Tez pick 62. Wyatt pick 63. And Cameron Williams pick 64. Y'all, onto the first round after a whole half an hour. And with pick 32, we're going Mykel Williams, edge rusher out of Georgia. What else would the Philadelphia Eagles do when they don't need nothing? Just take the defensive lineman that went to Georgia. That's what we do at Philadelphia, man. We don't have a need. If the Philadelphia Eagles' biggest need is wide receiver, and they have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, go get you the best edge rusher out of Georgia State, and he's going to build a bond with all the other guys and want to stay with the team forever because they're a family. You know, that's what Philadelphia does. That's what Philadelphia does, how everybody stays here and how they play their best. They're around their friends. They're around their family almost, bro. They went to school with these boys. And Philadelphia just keeps getting Georgia defensive linemen. It's a good formula, and they're going to keep it in my mock draft at pick 32. Pick 31, the Kansas City Chiefs will be selecting edge rusher out of Ole Miss, Jared Ivey. Oh, man. Jared Ivey is an edge rusher that has a knack for the ball. He just doesn't stop being around the ball. On pass rush, run defense, even after plays where he's eliminated, he has the pursuit to just keep going. He doesn't give up. And that's something that matters to me. He don't give up. Pick 30, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. Oh, man. This Ole Miss front seven was nasty. And Walter Nolan, what he was doing in the run game for this team is so nasty. They were the best run defense in the country last year. And as a defensive tackle, he's getting to the quarterback. I might have had Walter Nolan fall too much. If Walter Nolan could be on a team like the Buffalo Bills and have a pass rush like Bosa, Gregory Rousseau next to him, Ed Oliver next to him, holy, he's a defensive tackle, like almost like Dexter Lawrence. Like he could run, defend, and pass rush. Like those are the ones that, you know, are special. When you can play them every down and you can make Joey Bosa be the guy who sits down on some downs and let him stay healthy and keep him like suited up and ready. That's the type of defensive tackles that are like special, man. And Walter Nolan, he might be special. He might be special, y'all. Pick 29. The Washington Commanders have a guy who I have my this is buyer's remorse right here. Linebacker out of Georgia, Jalen Walker. I going back and doing the mock draft. Commanders fans, y'all are gonna be even happier. I think that he's somebody who y'all could still get round 2 if y'all just don't take him here. But he fits y'all so perfectly. That's why I took him at pick 59. Jalen Walker on Dan Quinn's defense, he will play Micah Parsons' role, but not as good. You know, he will play Micah Parsons' role at a second round level talent, you know. And I think I don't know if he's a first round pick though. Jalen Walker has his explosive plays where like you could just see it and be like, oh man, this guy is special, but it's not every down, and that you kind of want somebody that's gonna be there every down, round 1 for me at least. But Jalen Walker, him developing next to B-Wags would be an amazing thing for him, though. That would be an amazing thing for him. Pick 28, the Detroit Lions will be selecting safety out of Notre Dame, Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts is a ball hawk. You put Xavier Watts next to like Brian Branch and those other defensive backs on the Lions. That's a team that, woo, Brian Branch and Xavier Watts in the backfield together would be scary, especially with the way that Terrion Arnold wasn't terrible last year. DJ Reed, Lions fans, y'all got the best cornerback on the Jets last year. I'll tell y'all that much. And DJ Reed to me is the top 10 corner. So you have DJ Reed, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch. You add a DB like Xavier Watts, who's the best safety in the draft. Yo, this is a team. Y'all already know. Y'all here to win now. Y'all here to win now. And that's just what it is. Yeah, y'all gonna suit up this defense in the draft, maybe. Maybe. And y'all ready, literally. Pick 27. The Baltimore Ravens will be selecting an edge rusher out of Ole Miss, Princely Uman. Dude, Princely I'm sorry, y'all. He reminds me of DeMarcus Ware. The way that he has the swim moves, the way that he spins. Oh my God, he's DeMarcus Ware, bro. It's scary that he reminds me of DeMarcus Ware, and I have him going pick 27. He might be somebody who I might have to. Oh man, he gets to the quarterback and it is straight off of pass rush wins. He wins with his hands, and that's how you win at a consistent level. If you could consistently have finesse moves with your hands. Imagine when you just randomly feel like using your power at 6'4", 260, And oh man, I think Princeton's gonna be a problem in the league. I think Princeton's a problem already, and this Ole Miss defense is a problem. Last year it was, at least. Pick 26, the Los Angeles Rams will be selecting wide receiver out of Ole Miss, Trey Harris. This wide receiver room had too many slots last year. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna let go of Cooper Kupp. We're gonna pay Devontae Adams to play outside. We're gonna draft Trey Harris to play outside, and we're gonna just let Puka Nacua be that Amon-Ra dominant type of slot he is. Because, dude, the Rams are not a bad team, y'all. The Rams defensive line is complete. The Rams linebacker unit is all right. It's not the biggest need. It is their biggest need, but at the terms of the NFL, you can live with good linebackers. They have a defensive back room that they're working on. Their offense is nasty, and if they could add Trey Harris, who I think he's the reason that Ole Miss didn't make the playoffs last year. When I was talking earlier, in 8 games, he had over 1,000 yards, and a lot of people's questions about Jackson Dart is his ability to finish games. Well, let me tell you this. What if Jackson Dart had a wide receiver 1 to finish games? Trey Harris is a dog, y'all. He is like DK Metcalf. Like, he is one of those outside receivers that win, but he also gets more separation than DK Metcalf. I think he's better than DK Metcalf. That's the thing about Trey Harris. And Ole Miss was missing that last year to end off the season, which is so unfortunate. But if you could put somebody at like DK Metcalf almost level next to Devontae Adams and Puka, this Rams team goes from scary to like they are even scarier. Like last year in the playoffs, the Rams was like, they're such a veteran team that they were so scary to me. And if they could have a veteran team that fits even better because they got 2 outside receivers instead of a slot receiver next to Puka, that might be oh man, the best weapons in the league debate, because you have Trey Harris, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and Tyler Higbee is always consistent, especially if he's your 5th option. Higbee will always be there to provide for you. So this Rams team is a team that, oh man, they get Trey Harris to play on the other boundary. That is scary hours, especially with Devontae Adams getting older. So like in the games where he does miss, you just have Trey Harris, take his role. Pick 25, the Houston Texans will be selecting Jaed Campbell out of Alabama, linebacker. This is a guy who he is one of the better linebackers to come out of Alabama. and you have a defensive, or you have a defensive minded head coach, and Campbell kind of fits what you need. You need a linebacker, and you kind of need edge depth. But Campbell is like a linebacker who is good on passing downs. He's good on run defending down, and he's good at pass rushing downs. He's one of those guys who could do it all. And honestly, the Texans could just use that last glue guy to just keep that defense together. And I think Jair Campbell is that. You have your two pass rushers in Danielle Hunter, who you just extended, and Will Anderson, who just rushed the passer violently. And then you have Campbell, just he reads what they do, and he leads the defense just through the core. Like, he is one of those guys who that's the type of player he is, and he's able to do it all a little bit. So shout out to Alabama, because at pick 24, the Minnesota Vikings will be selecting guard out of Alabama, also Tyler Brooker. He is somebody who, man, the Vikings, the way that they've been building the trenches and the way that they just going about things, if they were to just get Tyler Brooker right here, this would be a nasty old line, dude. They will literally have no reason for JJ McCarthy not to succeed. They'd have the requisite pieces on the offensive line. They'd have the requisite pieces on the defensive line, the wide receiver unit, the running back room. You could maybe question it, but round 3, maybe that's what I do, y'all. Maybe I answer the questions on the Vikings running back room, because yeah, y'all see what y'all did in the draft. Now y'all got Tyler Booker in the first round, and that's the only pick the Vikings have. Vikings fans, y'all are the team that. Oh wow, yeah, y'all had the least amount of picks, huh? Okay, so yeah, Tyler Booker right here. Y'all don't have another pick probably until day 3. So you go ahead and get your running back day 3, and y'all are so set because, like I haven't even took Cam Scatterboo. Do y'all understand that? That like how much talent is in this draft for me not to even have taken Cam Scatterboo yet? Cam Scatterboo is amazing, but it's just that's how the running back position is in this class. There's like 10 more running backs that you could take, and y'all, that's why running backs fall. That's why running backs don't get paid, because like I'm in the draft right now, and I think there are still almost 10 more guys that I'm comfortable having be my starter at running back, especially with this draft class. And we're gonna see how my words age, but there are so many good running backs. Jordan James out of Oregon is like, some people probably don't even think he's a top 10 running back in this class, and I love Jordan James. Like, this running back class is so deep, and the Vikings, if they could just get a guard right here, completely revamp that offensive line, that would be crazy. But just you get the Colts interior, and you draft the guy in the first round while you already have one of the best tackle duos in the league. Vikings might, if they go out and get Tyler Booker, and he's as good as he's supposed to be, this would be the best offensive line in the league. Literally, like they will be fighting with the Eagles for the best offensive line in the league, just like that, because they already have one of the best tackle duos in the league, if not the second best to me. They have a top 5 tackle duo, and if they get Tyler Booker right here, they probably have the best interior. So whoever is behind that, if they can't succeed, that tells you what you got to learn about them. If JJ McCarthy can't succeed there, that means y'all gonna get another quarterback quick that will. Okay, trust me. So y'all got Jettas, y'all got that room. Holy, only thing McCarthy is doing if he doesn't succeed is burning a year. Like if y'all burn a year, whatever. Next year, y'all, the Vikings fans, y'all either gonna have a good quarterback in McCarthy this year, or have an answer next year. Literally. That's how well this team is built. And with Tyler Booker, that's how your future will be. Literally, just take Tyler Booker and you're set. Literally. Pick 23. The Green Bay Packers will be selecting edge rusher out of Ohio State, Jack Sawyer. Oh man, dude, he's like a lightning in a bottle, bro. He kind of Reminds me of like a light version of JJ Watt. I'm not trying to call him JJ Watt, but like a worse version. He's built like it. He moves like it. He makes highlight plays like it. Like Jack Sawyer, he has so many batted passes. He has so many hurries, and he might just almost be the best edge rusher in the sport, dude. Like he is so good, and the fact that like while I'm mentioning him and trying to compare him, and the only thing I could think of is JJ Watt is kind of scary. And the fact that I let him fall to 23 is wild, but at the same time, man, Jack Sawyer, dude, like he reminds me of JJ Watt. Pick 23. I'll see how I feel about that next time, but this is just a talented draft, man. I'm over here saying JJ Watt is available at pick 23, huh? Somebody who not JJ Watt, of course, you are your own person. You will always be your own person. But his play style, his movement, his hand placement, he remind me of JJ Watt, bro. We're just watching the game. Pick 22, the Los Angeles Chargers will be selecting defensive tackle out of Michigan, Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is a dog. He's a monster. And like I said, the Chargers' problem the past couple years has been run defense. And I think it's such a problem that I'm willing to take 2 run stoppers at the edge position and the interior position for the Chargers. I think this is a team that is not that far off. Y'all just need run defense. Like, get run defense. What are y'all doing, bro? Get run defense. I'm telling you, run defense. All right? I'm done talking to you. If you could somehow help out the Chargers and get run defense, you heard me yell at them. Get run defense. Holy. Hey, and by the way, for any of my fantasy football players, if the Chargers don't get run defense, I'm gonna tell you the advice I've used for myself the past 5 years. Whoever the Chargers have, get their running back. Okay, if you have a hurt running back or something, and you see somebody in the waiver wire plays the Chargers, grab them. Okay, they don't have no run defense besides Khalil Mack. Okay, grab them. Trust me. Pick 21. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be selecting defensive interior out of Michigan, Mason Graham. Ooh, if the Mason Graham could fall to pick 21, that would be an amazing thing for the Steelers. I'm not as high on him because I think he lacks the amount of pass rush that I would with like a blue chip pick. But he is a crazy run defender. Just the whole Michigan front line as a duo was a crazy run defense to me. That's what I think it was. Like both of these guys are first round talent run stoppers, bro, and they had 2 of them. So like it was crazy, man. But getting to the pass rush, I don't know how I felt about it that much. Mason Graham would get pancaked by Donovan Jackson a lot, and it's just kind of like I don't know how I felt about it, man. But I can see what he is on the run defense, man. I see Mason Graham on the run defense. I don't really have a comparison for him though. Like he's a run defender that can't really get to the pass rush, but he's also like he's not too big to where like he can't develop a pass rush one day, but he just doesn't have it now. Not to me at least. I didn't like how he get to the pass rush, but I could be wrong on that. And I think he's such a good run defender that he's a first round talent. So depending on how you feel about him as a pass rusher, you could be higher on him than me. But pick 21 for the Steelers, this is nasty. You have TJ Watt and Holcomb next to a guy that could stop the run consistently, and he will still be in a similar place like he was in Michigan because Cameron Hayward would be right next to him. The Steelers defense would be even crazier and even more toxic. Just it's not what they need, but best player available. Like I'm not no guy who's like super low on Mason Graham. I understand that he's the best player available, and yeah, this is a team that if he could fall here, you gotta scoop him. Pick 20 in the NFL draft. The Denver Broncos will be selecting running back out of Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. Oh man, like I said, I'm not a guy who is too high on drafting running backs early. I think that you should build up the trenches before you get a running back. But the Broncos have an O line. The Broncos have a D line. The Broncos got a quarterback that they're, putting their faith in. They got the three things that you would need before you get a running back. They could go get a running back. And if they go and get maybe a guy who, what if he's the best running back of all time next to a good offensive line? That's scary, Ashton Jeanty. What if he's the best running back of all time and he's on a team with a good O line, good defense? That's scary. That is scary, and I think the Broncos are ready to make a play like this, man. This is a team that made the playoffs last year. They need more juice, and I would have them take Tez Johnson and Ashton Jeanty in the draft. So, yo, Broncos fans, how would y'all feel if y'all came out with Tez Johnson and Ashton Jeanty? I think that would be a dream for y'all. Literally, I think that's what Broncos fans go to sleep dreaming of, like Ashton Jeanty and Tez Johnson, and that's what I gave to them. So that's crazy. Yeah. Pick 19 of the NFL draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be selecting cornerback out of Michigan, Will Johnson. Another one of those guys who stay healthy. Like when I was watching Michigan, I realized how good of like a pass rusher Mason Brown was because how much I was looking for him. Like him, bro, the whole Michigan team, like they were in and out of games, but that's what professional athletes. That's professional athletes. That's every sport. And yo, Will Johnson can play some man coverage. I'll tell you that. He is a tall corner. Like he is a tall, physical man press corner that get in your grill and play good. And he's been playing good for the past couple years. This isn't some guy who like had a 3-game sample size and people are trying to tell me he's the best corner in the country. No, this is a guy who's been good to great for the past 3 years, and health has been his biggest concern. And hopefully Will Johnson could just stay healthy, man, because on the Buccaneers, if they could have another corner like a Will Johnson, that would be such a great thing for them. And pick 18 in the NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks will be selecting wide receiver out of Arizona, Ted McMillan. Ted McMillan is an outside receiver, and they have 2 slot receivers. I don't know what the Seahawks are doing, but they know what they're doing. They have a lot of weapons, and the weapons, Cooper Kupp and JSN are literally 2 slot receivers who are going to not contradict each other, but that's the reason that the Seahawks let go of Cooper Kupp. They had Puka Nacua, and who does Puka Nacua play like? Puka Nacua plays like JSN, and the Rams felt like it didn't fit. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to let the division rivals go and get the same thing that they didn't like. You know why? Because that's what you should do. Like, if you don't trust in something working, why not make your rivals have to go and double down on it? But the Seahawks, if they was to get like an outside receiver and just make that trio a thing, maybe that could be what it is. They have a trio with 2 slots and an outside. And then in my mock draft, the Rams go and get a trio with 2 outsides and a slot. Hey, sometimes different things work for different teams, but I question the Cooper Kupp and JSN fit. And I think a boundary receiver is just really needed. And McMillan being available here would be amazing for the Seattle Seahawks. Pick 18 of the NFL draft. I have Pick 17 of the NFL draft. I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech, Aeneas Peebles. Holy Peebles. This guy, his finesse is nasty. He doesn't have the measurements that like people want at defensive tackle, but he's like 6'2", 300 pounds, and one of the best pass rushers I've seen up the middle. Like, it's actually scary. Like, y'all gotta go and watch Aeneas Peebles. He sticks out on the screen. He sticks out. He sticks out like a thumb. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. He's at the age of 24, so like maybe that's the reason why he looks so much like dominant against these younger guys. But I don't care. The Bengals, like I said, they a team that need a win now. Go ahead and get the guy who's older than everyone and has the allure pass rush moves and the run defense that he do, especially when you out here questioning Trey Henderson. What if the Bengals did what I do in this draft? They pay Higgins, they pay Chase, they got Burrow, the offense is set, right? You got Chase Brown, and you just keep the offensive line at least to the average level. What if they go out like I am and get Nick Scorton, who's a great run defender, and Anais People, who's a great run defender, while Anais People could also rush the passer up the middle. So instead of Trey Henderson getting double teamed, it has to be Peebles because he's a defensive tackle, and Henderson is going to be rushing the passer while Shamar Stewart and Peebles doing it also. This whole Bengals defensive line unit would be revamped, and Peebles is somebody who he's another guy who rose up the board for me. Yeah, Mike Green, Peebles. Peebles was the highest riser. Also, he rose so much I forgot to mention him because to me it's just obvious he's this good now after watching him. Pick 16, I have the Arizona Cardinals selecting edge rusher out of Marshall, Mike Green. Mike Green is like holy. Him and Peebles, those were the two guys who I was just watching on the same day. Like, yo, these guys are first round talent. Both of these guys are going in the first round. I don't know where they're going in the first round, but that's how good they is. Mike Green for sure, but Peebles is a guy who like I understand if he don't go in the first round because some teams like uh he's old. And I also got to be like aware of other people's mock boards and understand that like he's in the hundreds for a lot of other people. But like I said, this isn't just a mock draft, y'all. This is a what would I do if my job was on the line. If I was a GM for these teams and I know that I have to win a Super Bowl for the Bengals, I'm taking Peebles. He could rush the passer, he could guard the run, and he's going to play up the middle, which we need that. And he's special. Mike Green, edge rusher out of Marshall, like I was mentioning for the Cardinals. They just need trench play, man. They need trench play bad. And in this draft, they're going to leave with Mike Green and Alfred Collins, who are just going to be dominant in the trenches for the Cardinals. And they're going to start winning games from the get go. Like, I think you got to win snaps from the beginning, and that's straight up off the trenches. Like, that's just how it be. Pick 15, the Atlanta Falcons. They will be selecting James Pierce Jr., edge rusher out of Tennessee. Oh, man. Sometimes James Pierce is the only 10 I see, but I'm married, so like, holy, he isn't. Because James Pierce, dude, his pass rush moves are nasty, man. Like he's so like jiggy, boy. Nah. James Pierce is jiggy, man. Like his finesse nasty. Like his hand play is crazy. No homo. What the his hand? What the? Hey. James Pierce wins with his hands. All right, and like I said earlier, that's something that you could consistently win with. He wins with his hands, finesse, and feet work. Like this man is a pro edge rusher. He wins with feet work, bro. When you out there winning with feet work, you know he's a pro athlete. Take him at pick 15. Atlanta, y'all need edge rush bad, and he will come in there and revamp the whole unit, bro. I think James Pierce is a number one edge rusher, no cap, like on the team. Like James Pierce is that good. Pick 14, the Indianapolis Colts will be selecting tight end out of Penn State, Tyler Warren. I mean, who doesn't have the Indianapolis Colts taking Tyler Warren, right? Like everyone has the Colts take Tyler Warren. We know why. Let's move on. Like Tyler Warren is just he's a Colt unless he's like drafted before them. Like no way the Colts let him let Tyler Warren go past him. He reminds me of when I was watching the tight end class this year, man. I loved all of them, dude. Tyler Warren was like Gronk, man. That it was scary, dude. Scary the way Tyler Warren is just running over people, man. And oh man, taking snaps at quarterback, taking snaps at running back. He's just all over the field, man. He's a Swiss Army knife at the tight end position, and you gotta love that, man. At pick 13, the Miami Dolphins will be selecting tackle out of Ohio State, Josh Simmons. He is somebody who he's not a project pick, but he's a project because of his health. He tore his ACL. He's a guy who you want to take it slow with, but going into the season, he was the consensus number one tackle. This is a guy who you just let him get healthy, let him be, and you're gonna have your tackle for the future, especially with Teron Armstead, who he's on the older side of football now. So you just ask Josh Simmons to play tackle when he's not there, or play guard for the meantime. And then when Teron Armstead retires, he's gonna be your full time tackle, and just take things slow from now on. Um, Pick 12, the Dallas Cowboys will be taking Armand Membu. This is a guy who at the right tackle position, he is maybe has a debate for the best tackle in the class. And the right tackle position for the Cowboys, they currently have Terrence Steele's your money, but they could just get Membu and find out what to do around with that position, because Terrence Steele is somebody who I understand how much he's paid, but you got to be comfortable with moving on from him if he's a liability, you know. And Membu is somebody who he's a stout tackle, and the Cowboys with some tackle play, they really could use that, because that would upgrade their running back play. And like I said, a lot of running backs, man, and the way that the Cowboys just upgraded their O line with this pick, that running back y'all could take in the third round, he's gonna have an easier job. Um, pick 11, the 49ers will be selecting tackle out of North Dakota State, Gray Zabel. The thing about him, he's not a tackle. He's an offensive lineman. He plays tackle, guard, center, guard, right tackle. He plays all 5 positions. This is the most versatile offensive lineman in the draft. Or not number one, he's number 2. Most top 3, no matter what. Top 3 versatility wise, and he's a stout statue. Honestly, like Gray Zabel might be a guy who could rise for me. Maybe he maybe one more spot he could rise, but all I know is him next to Terrence Williams would be nasty, or Trent Williams. I mean, Trent Williams could play left tackle. You could just put Gray Zabel at left guard. When Trent Williams is hurt, you could put Gray Zabel at left tackle. Whenever your center is hurt, you could put Gray Zabel at center. Gray Zabel's comp for me is Elgton Jenkins in Green Bay. So if the 49ers could go and grab Elgton Jenkins, that would be really cool for them, especially with how much this team be hurt. And if you have a versatile guy like that that can plug and play all of the offensive line positions, I think that's amazing. Pick 10, the Chicago Bears will be selecting Kelvin Banks Jr. Yo, this is y'all Penei Sewell. You remember when the Lions drafted Penei Sewell, and a couple years later they get Jahmyr Gibbs, and then they get David Montgomery in free agency? The only difference with y'all doing it all through the draft. Y'all getting Kelvin Banks right now. Y'all go ahead and get the Ohio State running back duo after. Imagine what you could do with the Ohio State running back duo and Kelvin Banks with what you already got. That would be amazing, bro. And holy. I was talking about the Bears earlier on how they could change so many things with a couple of new pieces on the draft night. Dude, I think Bears fans, what do y'all think about this start of the draft where y'all got Kelvin Banks Jr. and the Ohio State running back room with Ben Johnson? Like, you will have so much to look forward to. And Bears fans, y'all still do have so much to look forward to. And I can't wait to see what y'all do on draft night. Pick 9, the New Orleans Saints will be selecting quarterback out of Colorado, Shedeur Sanders. This is a team that I think is pretty talented, man. Pretty much don't have a direction. They don't know where they're going. Shedeur is nice. I can see Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints, man. New Orleans Saints depth chart has gotten Brandon Cooks added to it this week. They have Chris Olave. They have Rashid Shaheed. They have pieces. They have Alvin Kamara. Their offensive line was good last year until they got hurt. And guess what they did this year? They added depth on it. Like, I think the Saints now, because of after their season got destroyed last year because of offensive line health problems, have one of the deepest units. They added Dylan Radins as a backup. They got Will Clapp as a backup. Ryan Ramczyk is still around. Like this is a team that like, dude, Shedeur Sanders, he could succeed here, man. Like this is a team that they need a quarterback, bro. Derek Carr is cool, but they played Spencer Rattler for a couple games just to like see what they got in him for a reason. And if they can get Shedeur Sanders to snap with this team, this is their way. And Shedeur, this is your way. Because this is a team that is talented. They have the offensive line, they have the weapons. The coaching isn't even the worst, like I'm not saying this is the best landing spot for Shedeur, but this is a place that makes sense in his draft range and benefits him. Like this isn't a place that a lot of people are talking about for Shedeur, but like it is such a cool landing spot. It makes sense, and I would love to see how it looks. Pick 8, the Carolina Panthers will be selecting edge rusher out of Penn State, Abdul Carter. This is a guy who at pick 8, bro, you just take him. Like we would have loved to get Bryce Young an offensive piece to build around him because that's what most teams do in the beginning of the draft, y'all. Y'all either got a quarterback and you need to help him with the offensive line, or you here because you don't got a quarterback. The Panthers are like the first team that like, do they have a quarterback? Do they have receivers? Do they have an O-line? Like their O-line, receivers, and quarterback isn't like, it's a question for sure. They're a bad team, but their edge rush unit is even worse. That is just what it is. They edge rush unit even worse. And Abdul Carter will come in there and change things drastically for them. I think Abdul Carter's agent sees how easily he could go to the Panthers, and that's why he's saying all those reports about like, man, my foot broke, bro. Because like looking at the draft board, Abdul Carter's best landing spots are like the Panthers and the Saints, or most likely to me, his most likely. I think Abdul Carter's gonna be a Panther or a Saint, and like it's cool. It's cool because guess what? Abdul Carter is gonna be the guy on one of those teams. Pick 7, the New York Jets will be selecting cornerback out of Texas, Jahdae Barron. Yeah, Jahdae Barron come in here and change this freaking room. You have Jahdae Barron, Sauce Gardner, and Malachi Starks. Oh, okay. Okay. The Jets defensive back room would be scary. And they got Justin Fields already. Their offense, we're gonna see what happens with it and just let them cook. But the defensive back unit was very disappointing last year. And if they could get Barron, who won the Bitkoff Award, Malachi Starks, who the past couple of years has been one of the best safeties in college football, to all start clicking on this team, this Jets defense with the amount of pass rush that they already got, if Justin Fields could play well, this is a team that, oh man, could be scary. I think Barron was like a freak athletically. Like the pass breakups he was getting would scare me. I saw him get like some pass breakups in the playoffs, and it would like he is so sticky, fast. He reminds me of Denzel Ward almost, man. Like he's super fast. I feel like I wonder what he's gonna run on his 40. But oh wow, look, I didn't even know that. Jahdae Barron's a track athlete. Yeah, he reminds me of Denzel Ward, dude. Like he is so fast on the field, man, and it is amazing to see, bro. Pick 6, the Las Vegas Raiders will be selecting cornerback out of Colorado, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is, y'all know who Travis Hunter is. He's Champ Bailey almost. He can play wide receiver, he can play corner, and the Raiders need both. The Raiders need both. Geno getting signed here kind of makes me like, are they a team that's gonna be interested in Shedeur still? I'm not so surely on that yet as I used to be. But this is a team that can still go out there and get Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter go play DB for us. Be our DB1 and our wide receiver like threesome for some time whenever we want to. Like, I don't see why people are making such a story out of Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. I think it will happen, just not that much. When it happens, let it happen. Who cares? ESPN is gonna put it everywhere. Who cares? Just watch the sport. Okay. Travis Hunter is gonna play both sides of the ball sometimes. And He's going to be good at it. He's going to be good at cornerback position no matter what. Travis Hunter is his agility at the cornerback position is nasty, bro. Like he is so agile, bro. It's nasty, bro. Nah, shout out to Travis Hunter. Pick 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be selecting tackle out of LSU, Will Campbell. This is a guy who he has T-Rex arms, but I don't really care about stuff like that, man. When you watch him play on the field, the best, like he is so technically sound. Like, why do you care about everything else when he's as technically sound as he is? And Will Campbell is a guy who I think can play left guard, center, and tackle. Like when I was saying that Grace Abel has a debate for the top 3 versatility wise, he's fighting with Will Campbell, and Will Campbell is more technically sound, but Grace Abel's not too far from Will Campbell, believe it or not, man. Those guys are both amazing, and a guy who I think is the most dominant out of the 4 or out of the 3 with pick 4, the New England Patriots will be selecting Donovan Jackson. Donovan Jackson, he played left guard throughout the whole season, and when he did play left tackle, his first start was against Penn State because Josh Simmons was hurt, and he was pancaking Abdul Carter. Then they go play Michigan, and he's pancaking Mason Graham. He's pancaking the guys who y'all are telling me are the 2 best defensive players in the draft, and he's pancaking them consistently at his first start at the position. He is pick 4 in the draft to me, bro. Because when Josh Simmons was there, he was a great guard. He was like a guard who we were high on, one of the best guards in the league. And then Josh Simmons gets hurt, and he looks like the best tackle in the league. So you know what that shows me? Versatility. You know what it shows me? Dominance. When he is pancaking Mason Graham and Abdul Carter at his first couple starts at the position. And then in the playoffs, when he got used to the position, he was even better. And he was pancaking Mason Graham and Abdul Carter. He's the best tackle in the draft, y'all. I'm not going to vouch too much for him. I know this is a name that a lot of people not hip on. He's been the best tackle to me for a couple months. Like, my answer has not changed. Donovan Jackson is the best tackle in the draft, and I'm gonna have to see otherwise to be proven wrong. I'm sorry. Pick 3, the New York Football Giants. They taking quarterback out of Oregon, Dillon Gabriel. Ball drop. Mic drop. I told y'all, man, these people are lying to y'all. Dillon Gabriel's not going in the pick hundreds. He was top 3 in Heisman. He has multiple times in college where he's thrown for 600 yards. The thing about Dillon Gabriel is he did it 5 years ago. Dillon Gabriel has been playing college football for like 6 years now. He's a super senior. He's older. He should have been playing better than those other guys. I get it. But the Giants team needs quarterback. And Dillon Gabriel last year, production-wise, film-wise, was the best quarterback. Yes. Even in the MVP quote-unquote rankings, they agreed with me. Number 1 was Travis Hunter for the Heisman Award. Number 2 was Jancy. Number 3 was Dillon Gabriel. He was the only quarterback in the top 3 for the Heisman Award. You know why? Because he played that good at the position. Dillon Gabriel's question marks are the same as the last mock draft. Only thing about Dillon Gabriel since the last mock draft, they've become bigger because of the playoffs. And I watched the Oregon game live. Dillon Gabriel played good, but he's small. And like, there's just certain things when you're small. I get it. He's a small quarterback. He doesn't have access to as many windows as other quarterbacks. That's Dillon Gabriel's problem. His size, his zip, his awareness, everything else is so A1 that like it shows you like how big of a problem size is at the quarterback position. Imagine being a 6'9" center, but you're the best center in the league. You know? That's kind of where he's at. He's like a 6'6" center, but like he's really good. And I wonder how he translates into the NFL because like these guys only get bigger and stronger, but Dylan Gabriel has only gotten faster and smarter. He reminds me of Kyler Murray. He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, Tua. Like he's a pro quarterback. He's gonna be in the league for 5 years, and I think the New York Giants would be happy with him. Well, Shedeur Sanders, by the way, he reminds me of Geno Smith, man, which would be so cool if the Raiders could get him. But I do see him falling to a team like the Saints, which would be amazing for Shedeur. Um, Pick 2 in the NFL draft, we got the Cleveland Browns. They will be selecting Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart reminds me of Josh Allen. It's just that simple. This is Josh Allen to me, bro. Jackson Dart, like I said, yo. A lot of teams, a lot of outlets, a lot of media sources are only there to throw smoke screens and see who really knows ball. Y'all are being tested. A lot of these teams, like Jackson Dart, is so much better than Will Howard. Like he's better than all of these guys. Jackson Dart's debate is he better than Cam Ward? Don't let people tell you that like Riley Leonard, Will Howard are better than Jackson Dart. It's Jackson Dart or Cam Ward because Jackson Dart to begin the season when he had Trey Harris was a dog. I understand people talking about him not being able to close out games, but he didn't have his wide receiver for half the season. His wide receiver won for half the season. The guy who had 1,000 yards in half a season, you know? So I'm not really too worried about Jackson Dart. Even when he wasn't there, they were playing so well. Their defense, that's one thing about it. Their defense is crazy. And Jackson Dart has no part of that because it's their defense. But on the offensive side, what he was doing, holding it down, like with the field advantages that they did give him, it matters, especially when they're a hurt team missing their best weapon, and you're a quarterback. That matters to me. And his ability to run, his ability to just be dominant and be the main character, even when his wide receiver one is out for the year, it showed me who Jackson Dart is. And pick 1 in the NFL draft, we will be going with Cam Ward. Oh man, that was a long video, an hour 30 minutes. Dude, I did so many mock drafts to get to this point, y'all. From now on, I'm not gonna be doing too many mock drafts. Like, y'all don't understand. I've done ever since my last mock draft video, I've probably done almost 20 mock drafts just like this, just seeing what teams are, what free agency moves happen. I also ain't been having time to record a video this long. It's an hour 30 minutes. This is a lot of talking. I ain't take a sip of water. I haven't took a sip of water. Man, look, there's no water near me, y'all. Y'all, if y'all stay with me for this long, an hour, 30 minutes of me yapping with no water breaks, just talking to y'all about football and how I think about all of these prospects, I'm telling y'all, I'm feeling after this, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go clean my room and probably watch some college football. Yeah, I'm probably work out a little bit too. But yeah, after this, I'm gonna edit this up, clean my room, go watch some college football, do that laundry, y'all. Anything y'all got going on your mind, go ahead and do it. Get it over with. And thank you for tuning in. And yeah, kind of yapping at this point. Yeah, y'all heard everything I had to say. I'm gonna go over the draft again. Actually, I don't feel like going over all those picks, but maybe if I ain't doing all that again, man. That's too much talking for me. I'm yapping at this point, and you still listening. I appreciate it a lot. We almost at the point where this channel is monetized, which is crazy. I just be coming here to yap. I'm gonna start yapping more. I understand why y'all like the yap sessions though. I come here, watch the sport actually, and then yap. I don't come here to throw off other teams. I'm realizing that's what a lot of outlets are doing. They are here to talk about the sport, and they do want to talk about the players for real. But you got to remember, some people have power, and some people like they are in front offices. Why would they want you to know who's the best players? You know, I want that player, but guess what? On the MLD Balls page, all we do is go to work, school, and clean our rooms over here. So we gotta, yeah. I'm yapping, man. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a nice day and God bless.